Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. Before we get started with our human moment and motivation moment of the week, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, don't forget the notification bell, make sure you put it on all so that you get all the notifications for all of the shenanigans that goes on here at K the Hustle Queen TV. Yes? Okay, so today's human moment and motivation is brought to you by Honda, although they really are not a sponsor, and after this video they may never be a sponsor. So as you guys know, a few weeks ago I went and had to go get my car fixed. It was in the shop for like a week, but what you don't know is the reason the car was in the shop was because for a year I have complained about my transmission giving me some issues. It was acting funky. So whenever I would go, not whenever, every once in a while, it didn't happen all the time, but every once in a while, when I would put the car in reverse, pop it into drive, put my foot on the accelerator to go forward, the car would sluggishly move and then jerk forward into a high speed. I've almost had an accident because of it in a parking lot. Almost took out a co-worker's car once over that. Yeah, so dangerous stuff. I have complained about it to my Honda dealership that I actually bought my car from over and over again, and all I ever got from the mechanics, the service department, was we couldn't duplicate it, so we can't do anything about it. So a few weeks ago my transmission light came on and my car is no longer under warranty, and I had a fit. I called up Honda, the dealership, and left the service department manager a very lengthy, not so kind voicemail. I called up Honda Corporation because last year I actually put in a claim because not only was I having problems with my transmission, I've had numerous problems with my car overall. I bought the car, it's been a year and a half now that I've had this car, and I love my car. I love my Honda Pilot so much that I would be willing to buy another Honda Pilot. It's not Honda, the car brand, that's a problem, because Hondas are well known for being really, really good cars that last a long time. It's not that. It's this specific Honda Pilot. Everyone else I know that has Honda Pilots and have had other Honda cars have not had issues. Their cars have lasted forever. They've lasted a lifetime. It's my specific car. So I'm not dogging Honda, the brand. I'm dogging my Honda car dealership and my specific car. Oh, give me 1 second. I hear the tea kettle's going on. And rather than let the water dissipate and I continuously hear the wheezing, let me turn it off. In any case, yeah, I'm not dogging Honda, the brand. I'm dogging Honda dealership that I bought my car from, and my specific car, my Honda Pilot. So because I've had so many problems with my car since day one, I had to put in a claim with American Honda, which is the Honda Corporation, to see if they would buy my car back, to try to get them to buy my car back, and or figure out why the heck my car was doing all the numerous things that it was doing and deal with it. Ultimately, after a year of back and forth. In November, they called me and told me to pound sand. Sucks to be you. You're stuck. Now, I have taken videos of my car doing the things that it was doing. I took photographs of the car doing the things that it was doing and submitted all that to Honda. So for me, when I got the call to basically kick rocks, I brought that up. I'm like, I understand that the mechanics are constantly going, we can't duplicate it, so we can't fix it, which is stupid. But I have proof. I've submitted proof. That should be more than enough. And what I was told was, oh, we don't look at video and photo evidence. So basically, you know, the mechanics will drive the car for 5 miles. You can't duplicate anything in 5 miles. You can't even figure out how much gas I use on a daily basis driving 5 miles. So that alone is just stupid. And because all these different things that happen on my car are intermittent, they're not going to do what they do on call. My car is not a trained monkey. It does what it does whenever it does what it does. I can't even predict when it does what it does. It just happens. And because I've driven it for a year and a half, I've gotten used to it and I can kind of maneuver around it. But in any case, so once they told me pound sand, I was planning to call a lemon law lawyer because I firmly believe that my car is a lemon. And I just want Honda to buy this one back so that I can get one that I feel safe in, and I'm not driving with my kid, you know, expecting it to blow up on me or expecting something wonky to go out and I end up in a major car accident. But with the holidays and everything that was going on around that time, I hadn't gotten a chance to find one. So a few weeks ago, transmission light went off. I'm no longer under warranty. Now I'm pissed because if I'm telling you something's wrong, I expect you to fix it. And the fact that you haven't fixed it, and now I'm sitting here, my car is no longer under warranty, and my transmission light is coming on because there's been something wrong with my transmission for over a year, and now it's probably going out. And I know you're going to try to come to me. Notice I said try to come to me and tell me that I'm going to have to pay thousands of dollars to get this fixed when you should have got it fixed when I told you something was wrong with it numerous times a year ago while it was under warranty. Because of all of this, I am mad as hell. So I called the dealership, left the manager, the service manager, who is a prick. Straight up, he's a dick. He talks to me all the time like I'm just some dumb chick who doesn't know anything about cars without having a clue that I've had enough pieces of cars in my lifetime when I was younger, like most of us have, that I can tell when something's wrong. And most of the time I can tell you what it is. Not to mention, I grew up with a grandfather who was a mechanic. And I've had friends who were grease monkeys that took care of my car and taught me things about my cars as I was coming up in my 20s so that I would have a clue. So miss me with that. So I left him a message, called American Honda, left them, talked to them, left a message for the case manager for the original claim that I'd put in that they told me to pound sand. And left them all messages, livid. It's like, hey, I kept telling you, nobody wanted to listen to me, and now this transmission light is on. I'm missing work yet again, losing money yet again. Now I've got to get a tow truck to take the car all the way over to them. And to boot, it's coronavirus, and I have no idea if the tow truck guy is going to let me ride with him, and I don't have a car to drive for work, so I expect to get a car. All this goes down. And to make what was a very trying and long story short, service manager ends up calling me and tries to claim that he has gone through all of my work orders from the time that, because I've only taken the car to be worked on there at the dealership. So he said he went through all my work orders, and nowhere in any work order for a year and a half was my transmission mentioned as a problem, which I knew was because I've mentioned it more than once. I even brought it up when I almost had a car accident and almost took out a coworker. So I told him that, and that pissed me off because now you're calling me a liar and you're trying to bully me into having to pay for something you guys should have dealt with a year ago. So, because I am now at the point where I have zero tolerance for him or anyone else at Honda and their crap, I let him have it and told him I expected to get a car from them. I expect them to fix my car. Don't ask me for money, basically. And then I talked to American Honda and told them the same thing. And then the caseworker called and I told her the same thing. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, your car is okay. So I get to the dealership, I sit down with the service manager, and he, again, with his machismo, tries to play this whole, oh, well, I don't see it anywhere. You didn't say anything. It's going to cost you $100 for us to diagnose it, and then we'll find out what's wrong with it, and you'll have to pay for that. I walked into his office with an email that I'd sent to my service guy who no longer works there, laying out the almost accident and mentioning yet again that we've had this conversation before. This is what's going on. This is what almost happened because they hadn't fixed it the last time I said something and the last time before that. Oh, well, I don't see anything in here. Oh, wait. You said it once. That was at $85,000. Now he's bringing up all kinds of stupid things just to try to make his argument work. But I'm not dealing with that because I'm not an idiot. And when I know I'm right, I fight for that. So ultimately, because I'm a woman with intelligence and the guts to stand up to him and the truth on my side, the evidence to prove that I'm right, and enough sass to stand before him in his face and not put up with it, he had a fit and just crossed his arms and leaned back in his chair. Well, we're not going to look at it unless you agree to the $100. Don't. Okay, so you're going to be a petulant child. So we're going to deal with this like you're a petulant child. Fine, since you want to try to force me into paying $100 for something I shouldn't have to pay for. You want to ignore the proof that I've mentioned something. And you want to attempt to bully me into paying for something. Fine. I'm about to go over your head. You will deal with my lawyer. Honda will deal with my lawyer. And American Honda will hear about you and your behavior. And I walked out. Gave them the authorization to go ahead and look at my car. When I was done with that, I went home and I called a lawyer. Got a lawyer on the phone, got American Honda on the phone, gathered up all of my work orders, turned them in to Honda, turned them in to the lawyer, and let them hash it out. Got a phone call a few days later. I did get a car, by the way. He gave me a car because there was no way that I was not going to be leaving without a car. got a phone call a few days later from the dealership, from the service guy, and he's like, oh, we're gonna be fixing your car, because they wanted to charge me, let me step back for a second, they wanted to charge me $900 and something, almost $1,000 to fix the car, because what they were claiming was the control panel that sits in the middle of the car that controls the transmission. So the drive, the park, the reverse, that panel minus push button. They were claiming that was going out and needed to be replaced. And that was going to cost $450. And then they wanted to charge me $500 and some change to flush out the transmission fluid and put in fresh and all this yah. And so it was going to cost me almost $1,000. So they thought. But even if they fix that panel, they can't guarantee that that's going to fix the transmission issue. They just know that the panel is going out and it needs to be fixed. And because it had nothing to do with the problems that I was experiencing on the car, I was going to have to pay for it. It had nothing to do with the warranty, which again, I say was because, hi, dog hair, shadow. The panel tells the transmission what to do. They all are linked. I'm just saying. But I'm just a chick, so what the hell do I know, right? So I called up American Honda and threw a hissy fit when they called me and told me what was wrong with the car and whatever. Because Honda told me after they couldn't put in a claim and do anything until the dealership looked at the car and said what was wrong with it. Then they could figure out what to do. So when they called me and told me what was wrong, I called up American Honda and threw a fit and was like, and by the way, we're talking about something that actually tells the transmission what to do. So it still should be under warranty. Because since nobody can figure out why my transmission is doing the crazy things that it does, if the panel's going out, that could be part of the problem. That's under warranty. Do what you got to do. So I was told by American Honda they were going to talk to like the special tech guys and whatever, and they were going to figure out what was going to happen and let me know. So a few days later, I got a phone call from the dealership service guy, and he's like, oh, hi, so yeah, we're going to pay for your oil change, for your transmission fluid flush, for the panel. You won't have to pay for anything. Imagine that. Imagine that. So this got me thinking, because I know you're sitting there and you're like, okay, but typically on Human Moment and Motivation, it's work business related. Here's how it correlates, because I started thinking about this. When I was in junior high, I had a dance teacher who used to say to us all the time, CYA. Every time something would go on, she would say to us, CYA. We'd be like, what does that mean? CYA. Okay, CYA. What the hell is that? So the entire year, we were asking her, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And she wouldn't answer. She'd just go, CYA. So in other words, figure it out. None of us figured it out. So here we are at the end of the school year. And we go to her one last time. We're like, you've got to tell us what this means. She looked us all square in our eyes. I think this was like maybe the 8th or 9th grade. I think it's like 9th grade. She looks us all square in the eye and she goes, cover your ass. And we were like, oh. I never forgot that lesson. I have stuck to that my entire life. So I was able to be triumphant over the great Honda and the douchebag service manager because I always CYA. Always. I keep track of all of my work orders. Every time I take the car in, I make sure I say what's wrong, and I make sure they notate everything. I cover my ass. Within that same week, a lot of us were having conversations about customers and how customers come to us with these bogus problems. Oh, I got my outfit and it didn't fit. Oh, I got my outfit and it's not the right thing. Oh, I got my outfit, or oh, I didn't get my outfit. I want a refund, etc., etc. And as a business owner, you're looking at that situation and you know that the customer is full of crap. So we were having that conversation within that week as well. And it just got me to thinking about how it's really important for us as business people to CYA. Make sure in your Etsy listings and all over your Etsy shop, you lay out all of the things you will and will not tolerate. Because if you don't have those things there, your customers, not all of them, but the shady douchebags, are going to come back and they are going to try to take advantage of you. And Etsy is no help. Etsy is not. Listen, I've had problems with Etsy just trying to figure out why did I only get $2 and some change off of an order that was like $60. I, to this day, have never gotten a response from Etsy over that situation. And I sent multiple emails, multiple messages. Still to this day, that was like a year ago. Still to this day, I've never received a response. I now know why. I figured it out. But they never responded. So you cannot count on Etsy to protect you. You have to protect yourself. So make sure that no matter what you do, the first thing you need to do is go through your shop, look at all of your listings, look at all of your policies, and make sure that they spell everything out crystal clear. Do not leave any loopholes, not a one, not even a tiny little crack for a customer to get through. Because if you do, the douchebags will come. And that's money and time you will lose. That is mental health from stress that you will lose. And it's not necessary to do that. CYA, if you do that, when the douchebags come, because they will, it's just a part of being American. It's a part of business. When they come, you will be able to stand strong in saying, no, you didn't read the policies. It's all over the place. What I will not tolerate is all over the place. If you didn't read it, that is not my problem. Sucks to be you. Sorry. Okay? CYA, people. CYA. Because we're in the business of making money, not in the business of losing money. There are going to be moments and times when, yes, things are going to go awry and you're going to need to make decisions. What I'm saying is, you want to make sure that when you're making those decisions, especially if you're making the decision in favor of the customer, you want to make sure that it's just because you're doing it out of the kindness of your own heart. Not because you didn't have your ducks in a row. You didn't CYA. And now you don't have a choice but to make a decision that you don't want to make that's going to hurt your business in some kind of way, shape, or form. No one wants to get a bad review. None of us. But if you end up getting a bad review just because you had a customer that's a complete and utter douchebag, I'm trying to be nice with my words right now. Don't know why, but whatever. And you know that you have everything spelled out, set in place. You can easily go back and rebuttal that and be like, listen, It says right here, I don't do refunds. I don't do refunds because my items are customized. I'm happy to do an exchange in certain situations, but you have to send me the item back first before I spend the time and effort to redo something to ship out to you. You didn't read that? You didn't understand that? I'm sorry. It's all over my shop. It's all over my shop. It's all over my listings. I apologize that you didn't read my policies, but I'm not responsible for you reading the policies. I'm just responsible for making sure that they're there and they're crystal clear. You have no remorse. You shouldn't. You feel no guilt. You shouldn't. You did your job. We are not always going to have great, fabulous customers. We're going to have somebody who's going to be the dick. I just want you all to be able to deal with the dick and stand firm in feeling confident that you did everything right and that they're just because they are. Sometimes that happens and we can't control that. So if you make sure that all of your listings and your shop spells out everything. You are not responsible for what UPS does. You are not responsible for what USPS does. You're not. Once you have handed over a package to the shipping people, your hands are clean. You cannot control them. Those are the kind of things that need to be plastered all over your shop. So customers can't come back when something goes awry and blame it on you and lay it at your footsteps. Now, you're more than welcome to try to help. I've had customers in the beginning of the pandemic. I didn't get my mask and it says that it was here and now it says nothing. I don't know what to do. Let me look and see what I can see for you. I can check and see, and I'll keep an eye on it. You keep an eye on it. We'll both keep talking back and forth until we figure out where it's at. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But some people like to come back, well, I didn't get it. And then you look and it says that it was delivered. Well, according to USPS, it was delivered. So I don't know what to tell you. You need to call USPS and ask them what happened. Ask them where did they leave it. Ask them, why did you not get it? Someone could have stole it. Again, that's not on you as a shop owner. You can't control thugs. You can't control thieves. Only make sure that you have dealt with all of the things you have control over. Everything else is not on you. Your hands are clean, and you should be able to stand confidently with respect, of course, and say to customers, I'm sorry. Once it's out of my hands, it's out of my hands. Here's what you need to do. Please keep me posted because I'd like to know whether or not you got your package. Be concerned for them because most customers are good people. I'm not talking about the good people. I'm talking about the ones who lie, cheat, and steal and just try to, get over on good, hardworking entrepreneurs. You have to CYA. You gotta cover your ass. Okay? All right. It's been almost 30 minutes. I was trying to make this as short as possible. I am hungry. I have other videos to edit. And it's getting late. So I will talk to you guys next week for another installment of A Human Moment and Motivation. This week, go out there, market like crazy. Get that social media popping. Get all of the orders that you can possibly get. And I will see you guys next week. Peace.